Hello, everyone. Today we have with us Miss Taniya Biswas. Tanya has co-founded Suta, which is an artisanal brand mainly into saris, along with her sister Sujata. And they founded this company in the year 2016. Last year, the turnover of the company was 56 crore. And I am personally a big fan of Suta saris, the fabric, the lightness of the fabric. So I'm very happy to have Tanya on this podcast. Thank you, Tanya, for taking time out.
Very glad to be here, and it's a pleasure to interact with you every time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Tanya, would you like to share with our audience that why did you decide to start a sari brand? I mean, from where this entire thought of coming up with malmal saris, lightweight saris, breezy saris come into picture? And did you expect this kind of exciting response that your customers gave to you?
Good question. So the love for saris happened because we have lived in the eastern part of the country mostly, and we have always seen our aunts, mother, grandparents, grandmothers wearing saris throughout the day. And those saris would be very soft and very breathable, and after using cotton for a long time, that feel, the washed cotton feel, the saris flying in the air kind of feel. So that was the fabric which I loved the most always, and that stayed with us. But when we grew up, slowly we studied engineering and MBA. It was something else, not textile. Um, we joined the corporates, joined the strategy consulting world, and there I used to again, want to wear saris again. And when I used to wear saris to the office, then I used to get this response that, oh, is it a special day? Are you going somewhere? Do you have a festival to attend or etc.? So saris, we felt that it was just going out of trend, and nobody used to look at saris as a regular wear, and people used to borrow saris, mostly youngsters, and wear them, and that was something that always felt like why cannot be the main attire because it feels so amazing wearing one. So that was the one of the biggest motive to start saris again. And in the local stores, you would always see that people would sell blingy saris and not this fabric. It was not there anywhere. So that was one of the biggest motives. And the primary goal was to work with weavers and artisans. And this two married together. And yeah, so Suta was formed.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. I totally understand and I relate to that fabric because I have grown up seeing my mother wearing saris most of the time, even while doing household work. So I relate to what you are saying. But what do you think has led to this kind of strong connect between Suta and customers?
I think we kept it very real and very honest. When we make a product, every product has a story, and every product has a different name. And we always wanted to tell people why we are making something and how it's made, who is making it. Then the communication really mattered, and people connected with that. And me and Sujata, being the founders, we were always very vocal. We were out there in front in the social media and talking to people, even physical exhibitions. We stand out there, we talk to people. I think people connect to the real kind of a brand and not the flashy brand, not knowing who is making it. Of course, there's a customer base for that too. But for us, people really love the cause that we were addressing. And even during pandemic, though we were not able to deliver saris, though we told people that this 2 months we don't know if we will deliver, but we need orders because we are working with weavers constantly. We're not stopping it. People did buy. I think that is something that every brand is getting to now, being real, being honest, being themselves.
That's true. That's true. But who were your first customers? Who were these initial customers who said, okay, fine, we will try what Tanya and Sujata are suggesting or what they are bringing to the market?
Initially, it was friends and friends of friends because we didn't even have a website. So
Yeah.
honestly, when I say that we started in 2016, but we started in 2014 unofficially, it was a Facebook page, not even Instagram. So we used to sell through that, and slowly we realized that friends of friends, word of mouth was the thing. And we started paid ads way later. We didn't focus on that. We wanted to make sure the product is of the highest quality and people are loving it, and the return customer number has to be really high. Then
Oh,
only I'll understand that the product has love and it has potential. And that's how it happened, word of mouth happened. And we went for exhibitions. We stood there throughout the day. Even we do that even now, but that time it was so important because I wanted to see people touch it, and I wanted to see the expression. I
yeah.
want to understand what are you saying about it. So those exhibitions worked. And since 2014, like I would say 2015, people who had come and met us, they are loyal customers. They are like family now. We still know them by name because they have been such a big part of the journey, entire journey. So I think taking feedback also really helped us. So yeah, I think those physical exhibitions and then word of mouth, it slowly built. But I think the best part was that the demand was much higher than the supply.
Oh, okay. So that's surprising because India, the sari demands are usually high. May not be in urban office going category, but otherwise, I think India still is very much into wearing saris, no?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So the demand for our products was higher than our
And
supply
the
chain.
supply. So I'm saying that, so my understanding was that even supply would be higher. There are brands like Nandis. Every small city has sari shops, right? I understand the kind of saris you guys are selling, those supply was there.
No, I was saying for just our brand, we
Yeah,
could not
yeah.
meet the demand because we used to make the depth of the products would be just like two to five pieces, not more than that,
Okay.
because we were not very sure about how many pieces to make. There would be products which we would just make one or two, so that's how we started.
So you just started, or did you also do some kind of market research even before launching the first product? Even for selling that very first sari to a friend or a friend of friend. Before that, did you do some market research, or you felt, oh, we are passionate about it, just let's do it?
It was more of passion. We thought that it'll be a small brand which will cater to people who are like-minded to us. People who love comfort more than looking fashionable. And fashion hurts. Fashion is painful. Is not the language they understand. So that is what we were catering to. But I think research-wise, we did visit local stores. We visited because there's no brand name for saris, right? There was no brand you would just think of apart from Nalli's or Fab India. But again, they were catering to a little higher range, price point. The saris that we wanted to make when we visited stores, and we said that okay, show us some saris for regular wear. They would still show us blings. They would still show us polyester because they thought it's a young person sari, and when we explained that I want a plain sari, they would still show me a georgette, which is expensive.
Yeah.
And when I point out the plain cotton sari, they would say, "Oh, yeah, aapke liye nahi hai. It's for some elderly women." So I realized that even the shops don't cater to the kind of audience I'm looking at and the kind of products that I want to make. They don't sell that. So when we went to the weavers, when we asked them to make de-starched malmal cotton saris, they said that, oh no, we will not make de-starched saris because then the defects are visible. It's very difficult to weave that, and they have to be an expert. And but we said that even if there's a minor defect, we will pick it. Don't worry. Then they asked us, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to do embroidery on this? Then I'll make it a little tighter weave woven because the embroidery will need stiffer, little what do you call it? GSM should be higher.
Yeah.
But when we explained, no, I want a plain sari, I'm just gonna sell as it is, maybe put some tassels. He said, okay, but how many will you pick then? Like, people don't wear this. Who are you selling to? So, to even convince them to weave this for me was tough. So, we started with two people after knocking so many doors that day. And those two people just said yes because they thought that they saw the passion in us. They said, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, that interesting. The supply side also there were constraints, and you had to literally convince the viewers to, buy your thought process. Okay.
Yeah.
So while doing all this, were there certain assumptions you guys made about your customer, and when you went online, when your customer base increased, And some of those assumptions fell flat. Were there certain assumptions?
Um, of course, there are many, but you know, the thing that it'll be a small customer base, that's a good thing that it failed, you know, that is one. But the other part was that we thought that since we are of the age group from 25 to 30 or 35 back then when we started, we thought probably this is the audience because they are, you know, they started earning, and they may want to wear saris to events, and then they would start wearing it regularly like we want them to wear, and they would pick it. If not one, they start picking two or three for themselves. So that was the audience we had in mind. Then 35 to 45, of course, because they're the working, you know, people, and they would want to wear saris in the profession. Though we really deep in our hearts wanted youngsters to start buying their own saris, because they buy their own clothes, jeans and tops. Why not saris? So that we thought we will not be able to achieve it. 25 is when we start what we should achieve. But you won't believe 18 to 25 is our second biggest category age group, which buys saris even till date.
Wow.
So
It's very
yeah.
interesting, right? This is a brand which is appealing across age brackets. So I see there is a tribe, you know. To me, when I started buying, for me, the very fact that you and Sujata are wearing those saris and showing, you know, you are the models. I think I connected with that a lot. You know, like this is like one of us, kind of, you know, who is comfortable in wearing it, in designing it, in, you know, kind of giving it different styles, etc. I think for me that really mattered, and certainly word of mouth mattered. I'm just wondering that when there is a tribe that has been following you guys, coming back to you guys again and again for more and more saris, now you guys have also started menswear. Is there some fear that, you know, now starting menswear will impact this women tribe that Suta has created?
Yeah, so you know, when we coined the term Suta Queen, we were kind of skeptical. We made it because we loved the word, because everyone is a queen in their own world, right? Because we do so many things and we want to do it right. So, but when we realized there's a shift, because it's a no gender bias is there for a sari. It can be draped by any gender, and it has started happening. And then the Suta Queen word didn't really hold, right? We wanted to change it, but it stuck to so many people and it stayed. So we started calling it a Suta community rather than constantly using the word queen for everyone. And when we started menswear, it was bought by all genders, and it received a lot of love. But we didn't grow it very fast. We stayed. We wanted to understand how the response is. You know, it did really well. But again, I'm again thinking that because Suta is such a women-centric brand, and people connect whenever you see here Suta, people know it's a sari brand, sari and blouses. So would men be comfortable wearing it? Is the other kind of thought which came to us. And you know, women came and picked for their partners or friends or brothers, but would men directly come to me and pick and be comfortable doing that? And hence we're thinking of a sub brand. This is the experiment which we were going to do this year, and giving it a different name. People will be aware that it's by Suta, but you know, it'll have a different name, so people will remember that name, that identity. So let's see if it's a success or not.
No, I'm sure it will be successful, and we will keep a track of that development also. Uh, Besides these categories like jewelry, menswear, saris, blouses, I'm sure there are other categories also. Is there any category, Tanya, you guys added and then discontinued?
Um, no, not really. We haven't discontinued anything. We have not made too many launches for that, but we are looking at developing it better. So stitched garments for women. We have started a sub brand called Ador by Suta, and it happened this month. And so we are going to build that brand as a sub brand, and we're going to launch much more. And more mindfully, because our primary focus has always been saris and blouses. We have been celebrating it so much. So we thought maybe it may not get as much light as we wanted to. So hence Ador is the sub brand.
Okay. So
We
when
never
you
discontinued anything though.
yeah, so I'm saying when you launch these sub brands, is it like reinventing the wheel again, going for those brand exercises, brand building exercises, now building a tribe for other, building a brand, tribe for menswear, etc. Or there are many spillover effects from Suta brand building also.
So it'll be a little spillover from the customer base because it's a similar kind of a base. And our core will stay very similar, but the essence of the brand will be different. So the kind of so maybe Suta is a very chaotic, and because we talk about a lot of things and we don't stick to some basic color. So if you see the social media page, also will say that we're doing too many things. We're not scared to talk about what we feel like. That kind of brand, but maybe Ador will have a different language.
Okay. But won't that contradict what you guys are doing, or you have thought about it?
So we have kept the core of the main motive the same, that we will be mindful, that we will be focusing on comfort more than anything else. So these couple of things will stay the same. So the again, the values are the same, but the essence of the brand may be different.
Okay. My last question to you, Tanya. You have recently started physical stores also, right? What was the need of doing that? I mean, was there a demand from customers, or you felt that through online you are only going to reach people who are very active on social media online, or there is a category of customer which is not so active online, but we can attract them? What was the rationale behind that?
Definitely that, because after mostly pandemic, you've seen that most of us just wanted to rush to the malls and experience the shopping, uh, you know, the physical shopping experience. We wanted it back because it feels good to try out, it feels good to feel it, and it's a fun thing to do with friends, with families, just on your own. Online shopping gives you a different pleasure, that okay, I'm lying on my bed and shopping, but this is another thing we were not catering to, and there are a lot of people who just do that, and they are our kind of people, and we were not helping them shop. So they would want to have exhibitions, they would want us to be there in their city. They have said us 1,000 times, and from so many cities that we still haven't gone to. We have done pop-ups to experiment that, is it working, it does it make sense, what I'm thinking, is it right? We went and did exhibitions in 2-tier cities, 3-tier cities, to metro cities, everywhere, and the response has been amazing. There were people who were sitting on the fence, who knew everything about the brand but never bought.
Okay.
They loved the brand but never tried the products. When we went to them close to the doorstep, they came and shopped so much. And once they buy, they may buy again online, but again, the conversion, that feeling of touching and feeling and buying, and a lot of people are not comfortable to pay online. So COD of course works,
Yes.
but good return policy works, but not for everyone.
Yes, I agree. And I think sari shopping is fun, right? Going to the store, seeing so many colors, it's therapeutic. So
And
I
also
just
for blouses, it worked wonders, because people are always skeptical of a blouse size. You're still okay with a t-shirt, even if it's a bit loose, bit tight, it's fine. But blouse is supposed to be like a good fit. So hence we always call that Suta blouses fit like gloves. And people who know their size, they just close their eyes and buy it from the website. It's really good that we've achieved it. But people who are skeptical to buy the first blouse, that little push happens to the stores.
Yes. I completely agree. Thank you, Tanya, for your time. But is there any last key learning that you would like to share with the audience? Something that you have learned through your journey of last 7 years, or maybe I should say 9 years, because your journey started in 2014.
I think the difficult bit comes when you are scaling up, and then you realize a lot of things which is not done right in the company. There's system errors which you may need to fix, because if it's small, you can still see it in front of you and you can go and check it. But I think tech-wise, we realize that when you're growing up, you have to fix processes, and you need people for that. Initially, when we started hiring, we started hiring rampantly a little later. That was a mistake that we did. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening to me, then don't go by the egg and chicken story that, okay, I'll have more revenue and then I'll hire people. But I think the other way works better, that you hire people first and then the company grows better. So yeah, I think this is what we struggle with most of the times. And you may not have a role in mind for a person you really like the profile of, hire them. They will add a lot of value. They'll help you grow better.
That's a very beautiful message, right? Because a lot of entrepreneurs or startup owners get into this dilemma where they start looking at hiring as a cost. But what you are saying is, it's better to hire people first and they will help you in growing and scaling up. That's a beautiful message, Tanya. Thank you so much. I know you are running from one meeting to another and it's a Saturday. Still, you are busy, but thank you so much for giving time. Lovely talking to you as always.
Very, very happy talking to you, and it makes me think, and I know that a couple of to-dos I've already made in my mind. So it clears my mind out. Thank you so much for having me here.
I'm happy to know that.